so selfish when our time was up. I acted reckless, I've loved and I've lost. Wish someone told me this stuff is hard. Don't you go searching now that I know. I say thank you next, thank you next, thank you next. I know I'm so grateful for my ex. Thank you next, 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 yeah, yeah, thank you next, thank you next. Oh, all I can say is thank you next, thank you next, thank you next.
What's up, YouTube? I'm Char'Nita and I'm back with another video. And today's video will be about how I studied for the RMA exam. Let's see, I graduated school and I think my last day of school was like March 22nd, and I passed my exam May 3rd. Yes, May 3rd. I passed my registered medical assistant exam. So as of to the date, I am a registered medical assistant, and I'm just going to give you a little bit of advice on how I passed the exam and how I became a medical assistant. Now, my teacher was very helpful. Once we got done with the class, she had us come and do a paper exam. And the paper exam was basically like what was on the test in previous years that she's taught. And so we took the test, and honestly, you guys, the first time I took the paper test, I did not get a good score. I'm just going to be honest. I don't remember what it was. It wasn't too bad, but it wasn't where it should have been. So, I don't know why my shirt looks like this. Because I'm sitting. But, yeah, but it wasn't where it should have been. So, what I did was I studied again. And then, because what she did was she gave us a study guide to the exam that we were going to take on paper first. And it was basically, I think it was like all the questions word for word. Excuse me, guys. It was like word for word what was going to be on the paper test that she gave us, and like we had to study and memorize the answers or whatever. And I didn't do good the first time, so I took like a week and a half, studied some more, and I went back and got a good score. So once I got that good score, she had us come back again and do a computer test. Now the computer test, you had to register and you had to pay for it, but the first time they paid for it, and it was like a one-time test unless you had to pay for it. This test was the closest thing that you could take to the actual registered medical assistant exam. So when I took that test, I don't remember what I got, but I did not pass, you guys. I was so discouraged. I'm like, okay, I had to take the first test twice, and then I failed this one. I can't take it again unless I pay. I really don't want to pay for it. You know, I'm just now finishing college. I'm only working part-time. I don't really have the money to pay for it. What am I going to do to prepare for this exam to where I don't have to come back and take this one again? Okay, so like the last semester, she gave us a whole bunch of booklets and a whole bunch of packets. So like I said, my last day of school was like March the 22nd, and I took my test May 3rd. When I seen this packet that she gave us, y'all, I was literally like, oh my God, this is a lot to study. And it definitely was a lot, but everything that she gave me was definitely essential to passing the test. If they give you anything, like if your teacher or your instructor gives you anything at the end of the class to study for the RMA exam, use it and, really, really study it, because it really did help a lot Most of what I studied did come from what she provided us once we completed all our classes. That thick packet is mostly what I studied and how I passed the registered medical assistant exam. Just bring my little packets and I would study these. So I'm just going to go through and show you guys a little bit of what I had to study, and I'm going to tell you about the testing day. So like she gave us a whole bunch of these little packets, and like this says chapter 11, medical records management. I'm just going to go through and just like tell you guys the name of the packets. Chapter 12 was correspondence. They're not in order. Like another chapter was medical coding and claims, and what you do is you would read the passage, like you would read like the little packet, and at the end of the packet it would have questions, and you have to answer those questions that had to do with the packet. And then once you get those questions right, you just study those, and then you study the answers. Administration and compliance, let's see. And then on the things that I felt like I needed to know more of, I would go to my notes or like get out old worksheets or old books, and I will also go through those. Like this one was a worksheet we did in Anatomy and Physiology 2 on the heart. And you know, the heart wasn't really my strong suit, so I would go back and I would go through the stuff on the heart. Like I'm gonna read you like this first one that we did on this worksheet. The cardiovascular system main job is transportation needs, and then it says it makes sure that each cell is surrounded by fluid that is constantly replenished with oxygen, water, and nutrients. In addition, we need the waste products and extracellular fluid to be continuously removed. And then it just says, why is the heart called the pump? Because it keeps the blood moving through a closed circuit of blood vessels. And it just basically goes like everything about the heart, what it does, what the aorta does, each parts of the heart, and how the blood like circulates like through the body, like the circulation and all of that. And I would like study that because I know that that would be on the exam, of course, because that's important. That was EKGs, like the different leads. I know that I had to study those. It would be like certain stuff that I knew that I wanted to like brush up on for sure. Yeah, like just what I was saying, EKGs. This is electrocardiography. Like she gave us a whole bunch of these packets, you guys. I don't remember how many packets we had, but there was a lot. There was a lot of these packets. I think I still had like maybe 2 of these or 3 of these to go, and it was almost time for me to go take my test, and I just like skimmed through. I just like skimmed through what I really needed to know, and that's how I did it. So basically just study your notes, study all your worksheets that you've got. If you do get something from your teacher at the end of the program, like before you get ready to graduate to take the course, please study it because it is very important. I feel like these packets helped a lot because majority of the things I studied was from this packet. The only thing I didn't study that was from the packet was things I felt like I needed to brush up on. And the things I felt like I needed to brush up on more, I would either read those packets or go through those packets twice, or like I would study everything first, and then once I got done with everything, I went back and studied those again. And even the day of, the ones I knew for sure, okay, let me just brush up on this one more time. The day of the test, because I didn't take my test till like 3-4 o'clock, so I had time that day. That morning I was like getting it in. So yeah, basically that's what I did to study medical terminology. Like all these packets that my teacher gave me, I studied. Like I said, I studied every one besides maybe 2 packets maybe, and I made sure I studied I'm sorry, this is like messed up. But I made sure I studied what I needed to know. So that's basically what you need to do, study. And then I remember my teacher saying, or somebody saying, don't cram like the night before. So I didn't cram the night before. The day of, I did, because like I said, I took my test later in the evening, so I had that time to really sit down and go through everything that I needed to go through to get it done. But like I said, I just studied all these packets. And when she first handed it to us, I'm like, what is that? She's like, oh, this is what you're going to need to study for the Army exam. I'm like, oh my God. And you guys, when I take tests, I'm not a good test taker. Okay, so I got a ride to go take my test because I let somebody use my car, and it was just like, I just had to get a ride. The test was 2 hours, so I'm waiting on my ride, and as time get closer and closer for the person to pick me up, I just started getting really, really nervous. And like, so I get there, I check in, I'm there like a little bit early. I got there maybe like 15-20 minutes early. Yeah, before the test had even started. When you get there to check in, they take everything. You can't take anything in the testing room. They take your phone, they take your purse, they take anything you have, water. You can't have nothing in the exam room, nothing at all. The only thing that I could take was my ID, and they had me lock everything up in the locker, and I couldn't take anything in the back with me. So once I checked in, I registered, I just instantly started to get nervous. So guys, they are so serious. Like when you take tests like this, it was just crazy. But they took my palm print and they took my fingerprints, and they said if you leave to step out of testing, you got to use your palm print and your fingerprints to check out. And if you need to like go use the bathroom or like take a little break, you can check out, and you got to use your palm print and stuff and your fingerprints, and then you got to check back in. And you couldn't take anything in there. You couldn't have earrings, jewelry, you couldn't have anything. Like they put my sleeves up to make sure that I didn't have anything on my hands or my arms, so I couldn't cheat or anything. And they even inspected my glasses, you guys. That's crazy. I was like, wow, they do all of this. And it was like, yeah, because you just wouldn't believe, like some people will really try and cheat. So I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. And like, you're in this room and there's a lady at a desk and she sees everybody that's taking the test. And yeah, so like I said, I went in, I sat down, and I just instantly got nervous. I did a little register thing, like when you register, and then I started the test. The whole time I'm taking the test, I'm nervous. My like palms are sweating. I'm like shaking my hands. Let me tell you, I was just a nervous wreck. It was bad. It was really bad. I think that's like the worst test I have ever took as far as being nervous. That was like the ultimate high. I was like, I've never been that nervous ever. It was crazy. Yeah, but like I said, I was getting nauseous. I was feeling lightheaded. I think it's because I was staring at the screen. I was answering the questions, and it was just like, I have to pass the test. Everything is writing on this. I cannot take this again. Mind you, the first time you take the test, the school will pay for it. After that, you have to pay out of pocket. I don't remember how much the test was, but enough to where you don't want to have to pay yourself. So, yeah, at this point, I'm just nervous. I'm almost to the end. I get to the end, and I look through, and it say, like, you didn't answer 2 questions. So I went back, and I answered the 2 questions, and I'm like, maybe I should switch my answers. I'm like, no, because I remember my teacher was saying, don't second guess yourself when you take the test, because usually the first answer you pick is going to be right. Sometimes that might not always be the case, but if you second guess yourself, you're going to get a lot of them wrong, because what you usually think it is the first time you read over it, that's usually what it is. So I'm like, I ain't going to second guess. I ain't going to change my answers. I'm just going to click the same 2 answers I have. I get to the end, and it's telling me, like, do I want to go back? Do I want to check over anything? I made sure that all of my questions was answered. And I just leaned my head down. I said, Lord, please let me pass this test. Please let me pass this test. I clicked next, next, next. I put my head down, and I had the mouse on submit. I clicked the mouse, and when I lift my head up, it said, "Congratulations, you have passed." My heart dropped. Oh, my heart dropped. Like, I feel like my stomach was in my ass. Excuse my language, but that's how I felt. I was happy. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like excited. It was just like so many emotions. I wanted to cry because I'm like, I did this all while having a baby, like all while having a 1-year-old son at home. I was able to work full time at first, and then I had eventually switched to part time because it just got too much. And then I was still able to pay my bills, and it was just a lot. It was just a lot like going through my head. I was just so happy. But anyways, once I got, because I was still like feeling sick. I was just feeling so sick. I think it was like stress and like nerves, like all just running at the same time. I think that's what it was. When I walked out, when I walked back in like to the area like where you go to register and stuff with the chairs, it was a man sitting at the desk, and it was like chairs sitting, and then, you know, like the lockers and stuff, because I had to get my stuff. I told the man, I was holding my chest, and I said, "It felt like I'm about to faint." And the man, I had to stop the video because somebody was calling. Give me 1 second. Okay, it was dark. Okay, yeah, so, I sat down, and I'm like, it felt like I'm about to faint. So the man was like, "Well, sit down." So I was still standing up, and then I went and I sat down. I just instantly got excited, and he was like, "Ma'am, you can come over here so I can get your paper for you." And it just told me my score and that I had passed. Y'all, I was not happy with my score, but I was happy that I passed. I wanted to get like an 80 or above, because when I tell you I was studying my ass off, like it felt like that's all I was doing. Morning, noon, and night, studying. And I'm just like, it felt like that's all I was doing, and I'm just like, I have to pass this test. So anyway, to make a long story short, I passed. I passed with a 72. I think you need like a 70 to pass, but I don't care, because I ain't got to take it again. I passed it. It's done. No matter what you pass with, don't beat yourself up. You worked hard. You passed it. You got through it. And even if you have to fail it, don't get discouraged. Go back. Study for the time that you need to, and you go back again. I don't know why my shirt looks clear. Go back again, and you take that test again. Please don't get discouraged. This is what you worked hard for all this time, all these months. You're doing these clinicals for 6 weeks, or you know, like however long like the requirements is for certain people. Do what you need to do to get it done. Period. Because if I did not pass, I would have went back and I would have took that test again. But I was just so happy that I didn't change my answers, because just think, if I would have changed my answers, I probably would have failed. So make sure when you take your test, you don't second guess yourself. Whatever you think that answer is the first time you read over it, don't go back and change it. Make sure that you go with your first mind, and make sure that when you do go back to double check your answers, don't change nothing, and make sure that all your answers are there before you click submit. Because like I said, after I got done, it told me that I had like two questions that wasn't answered. I could have sworn I clicked these answers because I remember what I put, but for some reason it just didn't register. So I'm glad that I double checked that too. So make sure that after you complete it, go back, double check all your answers, and then go back and click submit. Because I think it had like a flag or something. It was something that popped up that let me know that it wasn't complete all the way. So yeah, that's my story of me, how I studied and passed my test. Like I said, if you finish your class and your teacher gives you this book to study, because I feel like it's a whole freaking book, study it, because it will help you in the long run. At first I'm like, this is a lot. Okay, I'm gonna do like so many pages a day. That didn't work. I just did whatever my brain allowed me to study for that day. That's what I studied. I didn't, you know, try to do too much. If I felt like I was getting a headache because I was staring at the paper too long, okay, that's enough for today. I'll start back where I left off tomorrow. And that's what I just kept doing. I just kept like stacking it up. Like if I would study this, I would stack this like this. So okay, I have this to study now. Like, you know. So that's my video. I hope I helped you guys out. If you need something in more detail or like more descriptive, comment down below and let me know. But yeah, you got this. If you're getting ready to study for your test, you got this. Be confident in yourself. Don't second guess yourself. And one thing that my teacher told me, because I was nervous about it, she said the only thing that you can really do for a test to not be nervous is to go prepared. You still might be nervous even though you're prepared, but you know, do the best you can. Choose that first answer that you think it is. Once you read over that question, don't second guess yourself and you'll be good. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you want any more medical assistant videos, comment down below what you would like to see. I'm Char'Nita and I will see you in the next video.